fuck me. I forgot to... Why did it not automatically fix that? I recently did rename some oh, I bet because it crashed, it didn't save. Hold on. And I bet for the other ones... No, that one should be muting. That one should be muting. That should be muting. That should be unmuting. Most curious. Need to set this one for the second. It's the downside with shit being hard-coded. Alright. Just probably before you go to bed early for a sky event. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy the Children of the Sky. I know Ice, I think, is doing the SCP thing tomorrow, so I'll probably check that out as well. It's usually fun for at least an hour or two, but my sleep has been really wang-jangled this week after it's been a week. Really glad the weekend is here.
Is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Oh, a fawn? Ooh, can we get more fawn
Must be the one
clothes?
he told us about, unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust.
Oh, take off like
You
I
can
had
barely
that.
make out the shape of the seat and two steering levers.
I hope you have a wonderful, rejuvenating eat.
Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This
Really?
has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Well, if Kim says we can do it, then we're gonna do it. I can't believe you'd yeet me.
This green
And
fowl,
spin me.
A to Z, contemporary.
Oh, at least you gave me a refreshing drink. Oh no!
Looming
Chimera!
It's seen
The drink is painful!
The hammer of truth and justice. With a firm punch that could shatter bone, you smash through the window. Why you didn't equip and use the pry bar, who knows? But now, release your secrets, Lorry Cabin.
But I did have the pry bar.
The smell of cigarettes and
That's a funny bug.
welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of Petty Ferric from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from
what's
looks
the
like
note?
an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system.
The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
ULAN. Ultra low. AN. Can't think of what AN could stand for.
Pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest, these are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
Damn.
One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy with a hint of amberette. wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
What's that
The
smell?
remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably granate number 5. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too.
I feel like if you're afraid of the camera, then being an
Actresses
actor
and the real
probably
actor
is
all smile
not
you a warm
the
goodbye.
best
The radio
move.
transmit looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
What about the Speed Freaks FM? Is that one
No,
saved?
that's on 78.9. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right
Is
now.
there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it.
The ghostly action. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper. A novel technique.
Sandpaper would also rub off the sole of the right boot.
Yes.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which
footprints
means that
at the
missing lady
crime.
driver was present at the lynching.
Missing
Looks like
Eighth
her.
Hardy.
Yes.
She's the one running the drug trade.
Now we
That's
know
a
for
handful.
certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
If it what Joyce told us, I don't want to make any assumptions.
We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter.
The movie stars are voila. A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place
Maybe
called
their
the
drop
Old
locations?
South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of there. Hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the massive brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where's
to
the road
Coulon,
lead?
through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Alright, what's the
This
second map?
municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox. No storm will ever drown Revachol. The great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital. Now just a ruin under and
the third
final
map.
displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation.
So probably their
beneath the
network
motorway.
of going through the sewers to graphic stuff. This I'm going by off-brand offspring.
Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated
Uh-oh, I'm
the
gonna
road
snooze.
network
I'm
belonging
gonna
to
sneeze?
East
I'm gonna
Motor
snooze?
Track.
I'm not gonna snooze, but I might sneeze. Unless it goes away. It went away. Sneeze, sneeze, went away. It's gonna come back anyway.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where's this contraband
Hard
in?
to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. The
Besmeti?
Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta, it's a dark parody.
You do
It's
things behind
definitely
this.
not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Yeah, it's the cartel
Especially
situation.
bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know.
Half-Light, shut up!
Best
Go
not
away!
to disturb the scene. I'll have forensic.
The stack of maps enclose the rock.
Great. I think we got everything.
Alright, Kim.
Alright, we're finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Iced? Welcome on by. Y'all need to. Ah! I don't know why that. I need to adjust it. But hey, if y'all don't know Iced, they're a wonderful rain-rolled speedrunner and 3D modeler, and playing other interesting games. Playing a lot of Noida update. Until they get noited themselves. And if you like those 3 slug cats that just smacked me in the face, you can get them on Iced's Ko-fi and play with them yourself. I hope you're having a good evening, Iced. And I think SCP is planned for tomorrow, if I'm remembering correctly. Or is that next week?
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Going okay, fell asleep for a while, so not sure if you should stay up. I mean, I don't know. My philosophy is if you feel tired, sleep. If not, be awake. But that also means it's really easy for my sleep schedule to be all sorts of out of it. Like this week, where I've been waking up at like about 3 a.m. And then I take a nap after lunch. Because it's all sorts of things. It's been a week. It's been an interesting week. Really happy that the weekend is here, as I can have a bit of fun and de-stress.
Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info.
Back when I still drank, I also drank alcohol and energy drinks. I don't recommend, and probably very unhealthy, but like use alcohol and energy drinks to also get myself to sleep. Because like I know certain, like if I drink white wine, that'll like instantly make me be sleepy. So if I drink a couple glasses of white wine, it's like, all right, well, I'm going to bed in the next hour or so. Whereas with the energy drinks, it's like, all right, well, I need to stay up a little bit longer. Crack open another cold one. Eternally sleep in the middle of the day. I mean, honestly, when summer finally gets into full swing, that's usually what I would do if I'm at home. Simply because the heat is just so oppressive. I just turn on a fan and just like lie down and just take a nap. I take a siesta because I can't. It's so hot. Like, I just can't work. I can't process anything.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
What about the movie posters?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Maybe the trader is some sort of a cinephile.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
We are seeing open an
We
investigation.
should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
What are you
The
thinking?
fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Uh-oh. Corruption.
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help.
Boom! You gotcha! It seems your gotcha has run out. And you have been yoked yourself. Cinephile, parentheses, horrible. That actually makes me think. Because I know I've actually seen someone where they had a cute little gotcha redeem. Because like if I've been seeing like a lot more people do like a daily check-in kind of redeem. But so I feel like some people have been a little bit more creative with it. I don't know if there's like an algorithm reason. I don't have a marketing brain. I don't understand any of that. But I remember one person, like, if you would redeem it, they had like a bunch of like cute little drawings, and like they had it would save like which ones you pulled, and then you could form like sets of cards, and they would do certain effects. I find people like that sometimes. Also, some people do Yeet for years. Or like I also know one person, Red Bean Porridge. Which, you know what, I'll fucking shout them out. I need to make sure I spelled that right. Yeah, Red Bean. I want to say he's, oh, of course, I need to figure out how to block that. Misfit, welcome on by. I hope the Arma RP went well, and y'all got the damn covenants. Welcome. I hope you can now stand up, wiggle it out, leave a piss, take a water. Oh, and it looks like I'm doing a 6-7-20 kickflip, pop, shove it. Oh, I'm back on the ground. How many points did I score? But if y'all are arriving and you don't know me, I'm Dreki Ormer, Draconic Serpent, Flightless Dragon, or simply Worm on the internet. I'm playing Disco Elysium. I had a train of thought that left the station. Right, I was talking about like those daily check-in things, and so I was shouting out, you caught me right as I was shouting out Red Bean Porridge. I want to say he's in Southeast Asia. I don't remember which country exactly, so he tends to be on pretty late for us over here, but he does really cute art for like food. And so like his check-in has like a random like bread you get, and it is very adorable. All sorts of things from kolaches to like little cat biscuits to croissants. It's very cool. But what he does is after like a year, the top 10 people will get like VIP for the next year or something like that. So it's like an actual ranking system. Yeah, do crimes, fucking valid. Exactly. I think the cooldown should have run out now. If y'all came over here from Misfit's place and you have forgotten to follow the wonderful maid, I clicked a button, so now you can just click a button and you can follow them whenever they go live again. I hope you're having a good evening. Also, if anyone is not aware of Disco Elysium, I do have some content warnings I put in chat, as we are playing a police officer. There are some racists we have to interact with. There is subjects of mental illness and substance use in the game, so I don't want anyone to be jump scared by any of those things. If it's going to harsh your vibes too much, no scale off my back. Thank you for stopping on by. Hope to see you some other time. Definitely take care of yourself first and foremost. I think we're getting to wrapping up one of a major... Like, we've been trying to solve a murder. We've been hitting some big rocks in doing that murder solving. So I've kind of gone on a tangent of becoming a communist art cop. We're kind of taking some L's on the art side, and the communist side, well, we learned that if you believe hard enough in communism and there's enough of you, then it will physically affect the world. Apparently it makes turnips grow faster. All right, we learned that. We also learned that communism helps you grow a beard. Okay. But we don't know what happens if you can achieve tier 3 communism. There's only theory and speculation on what would happen.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them to other ends as extra ammunition.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some...
Debrief over.
Alright. I need to put my multi-tool away, even though I love it. Okay, so we need to talk to Joyce. Then we need to talk to the Hardy Boys, now that we know more specific information about the... Uh-oh. What's up, Tommy?
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Shit, man. There's gonna be an investigation.
Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
Yeah, the first option, the police are looking into it. That's not a good thing. That won't assuage him. But she apparently is looking to be wrapped up basically with a cartel, is what it looks like right now, and that's... I really don't know.
I always wonder to watch yourself. Man, nothing to do now, I guess. Maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Good luck with that, Tommy.
You too. Be safe.
I'm glad we didn't harsh Tommy's vibes, but hopefully we can help out the help her out because yeah. Sounds like she might be trying to escape like a troubled situation. You know, it's just tale as old as time, escaping a troubled situation, falls in with a bad crowd. It's like one of my Japanese rockabilly movies, except all the ones I'm thinking of are American and not Japanese at all. So it's like my American rockabilly movies. My American animes, also known as cartoons. And now I'm thinking of like, we need an weeaboo and a marabou foreign exchange system.
Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
You've just got to conclude
Yes.
for now.
And will you start an official investigation?
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words
Really?
bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron.
How are
and
the
strawberries.
lynching and strikes connected?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Like a family-friendly game for delicate Christian. Exactly. Only the most fine and safe for the Christian server. That's why we have our little alphabet book here. You know, we got to make sure everyone knows their alphabet. All right, we got our primer for small kids. That's going pretty good. Hey, Skier, I hope you're doing well. Y'all don't know Skier, and you like all things green and serpentine. You have got to check them out.
It's really cool.
Ah, yes, the Snitty bottle. I'm glad it was this one. Skier has some amazing models. Your A to Z's on addictive medication for adults. So the worst part is what was it like? X was xylophone. I want to say W Worcestershire. Like there was like W, X, Y were like bullshit words that didn't start right. Like didn't sound like what their letter was. That's I think it's early on your part of the world, so I hope it's just early starts of the day for you and not oops, accidentally stayed up all night situation. That's kind of how I feel this week. Words there just made about you. Exactly.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These
Look, very
mercenaries
oddly
are
enough.
muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the union into surrendering.
Hopefully it doesn't throw any of your plans for the weekend off.
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, Our relationship is deteriorating.
That seems not so great to have some hired mercs just vibing,
They wear
potentially
ceramic
causing
armor, have
problems.
semi-automatic weapons and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
Oh great. We just have a couple, just a gaggle of guys and gals in heavy armor with automatic weapons and PTSD in a civilian environment. Cool. This is not a problem at all. Nothing bad could possibly happen. What could go wrong?
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Great.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Oh, oof. Well, this hits right in the world events.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
I have to say, this is not
It
disco.
is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Thanks, Encyclopedia, for the facts.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1, 2, or in your case, 3 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
Militant this morning, you just... Yeah. I mean, yeah.
As I said, a bloodbath.
So what the Union people have to do, as bees, they all hug the armor and then they vibrate rapidly, overheating them. Might be extending the bee metaphor a little too far, though. See, Kim, this is the great bloodletting I've been telling you about.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
I'm not happy for me either. This is a very bleak scenario
Many
you're
bleak
describing.
Scenarios have already come true, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Where are the 2 remaining
Gone to ground, as
mercs?
it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes, ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
You still need to know where they
Likely to
are.
run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries? They didn't pass background check. Clothes didn't fit right. Sent by the pilot.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Ah,
The other
okay.
has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be
That
so.
makes sense.
I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
I think we saw the Watcher whenever we found the tape player off the
All your
tree.
talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the union?
Oh no! How would the company? How would it look like if I was working? If how would it look to the company? How would it look on my resume? Fuck off.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keep.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we
Until the
have?
executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
He is a rich negotiator. Yeah.
Report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Do you know the
If you mean,
Colonel?
Did I see him alive? Yes, but I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice. But she had sympathy for this man.
Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. He was
How old
40
was he?
or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed
All right, this
accent.
is the part that goes right over my
Chinese.
head.
Or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess.
Can you tell me
Not
about
much.
Krenel?
Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of
Downwell.
clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
They are used to operating in war zones.
Yes, all the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sadly, no. Before this happened,
Seems
I
like
had
the kind of
little
people
interest
you
in
shouldn't
them.
have
Now
hired.
that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news.
All right, now
Of
tell me about the.
course. Excuse
tell me about
my
those
hesitation
tattoos.
before.
For about half a minute, in silence, she wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigger not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
You see.
She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
That sounds like a really fucking complicated tattoo, especially because if distance and size matter, then like there's so many different ways for the skin to change that would then change the whole tattoo.
Cities, on the oceans. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be
Interesting.
reeled back in by. The silver...
Where is he now?
But it's flown quite far
I
by
would
now.
say he's near the Arcade Islands by now, ready to exit the Insul Indian and into the Pale, if I've read his home address correctly.
You could tell me more.
Team members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial. Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Leave it off
I'm
the
relieved
schedule.
you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should... Is there anything else I can help you with?
Thank you. That's all for now. Okay. Now we need to confront the Hardy Boys. Wait, now that it's day and we're all the way over here, let's talk to Cindy. Let's check in with Cindy at least. Okay, head to bed. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thanks for stopping on by, John Natter. I hope you have a wonderful evening and a rejuvenating
Hello again, officers. I don't...
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
Here's just school
There'll never
solidarity.
be skulls, but thank you for passing on the message. Now run along, Piggy.
Nope, don't go in there, Dreki. That's just her room and not down here. Where the fuck can I get a damn paintbrush? I need to paint the wall, but I need a paintbrush. Can't find one, man. All right. We're gonna have a bunch of important checks over here. We're gonna save before we go into the whirling in rags.
I've got nothing to say.
All right, you got nothing to say to me? Well, I got something to say to them.
The circus left town.
Yeah, circus clowns, yada 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 yada. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I've connected you to the local drug
Like
trade.
hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilo.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprint. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
Ah, the coup de grâce.
Thoughts in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the sky.
I knew they'd never own up to it.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Damn. 1 or 3. Admitting to profiting off poisoning your own people. I'm telling yourself that. But for a fact, there's still plenty of drugs out there.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, you're not doing a needle exchange program here, dude. You're like actually manufacturing and distributing them.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized.
There's a difference between harm reduction and like contributing to it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
You know, you keep saying that, but we have evidence to the contrary.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat, he left 2 sets of footprints.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
That refreshed the authority check. Let's put on the bits of authority equipment we have. I need to take this off. Need my cap. And a different t-shirt, because Man from Hyamdal is not helping. Ceramic armor. That seems like a decent one. Do I have anything else that'll give me authority? I don't think so. I don't really have much.
It's you again. What is it?
He's not calling us a clown circus anymore. Still so fucking low.
As you look around this room full of
Oh,
sweaty men,
shit.
swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before?
We believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
Yeah, I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here. You must be. You're just like real cops. Drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
No. I got drunk. So drunk I drove my car into the sea. I don't give a shit either. Just like you guys.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
It's not about who did it. It's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You want to help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect.
Weird that that authority check led to this. Not gonna lie.
If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's Amonju with an O-U.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Said you don't remember reality. Talked about your room and crying. Said you don't remember. Okay, well.
Sure, why not? You've probably seen her around.
Ah, shit. I have to take the check.
You inexplicably add cool after the
We
victim's
almost
name,
actually passed it.
your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Remember what I said. Freight train of.
Oh boy. Oh, this is a fraught topic. All right, Kim.
Officer, what was that? Yes.
I think I know that woman.
Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
She knows I did some pretty crazy stuff before I passed out. And I partied hard, and I'm not very mentally healthy.
So she overheard you? Or did you party together?
So this is what it feels like to be interviewed.
Not very
Get
fun.
through it.
Anything else?
And in the hallway after I
Mister,
woke up.
You were not in good shape on Monday.
She knows I didn't remember
That's
being caught.
manageable. That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? We'll be alright, officer.
You feel fortified by his assurance. Is it though? Nothing? You're still in.
All right. I feel like we need empathy. I'm gonna make sure all the stuff I am wearing is going to have bonus to empathy. We need empathy. I don't even always love having the malice to authority. Anything else for empathy? I think that is my empathy bit. Yep. I can switch my hat though. Logic? Don't know why that gives me bonus to logic, but we'll take that. Oh boy.